Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm William Haas, and let's square up gay culture. Let's discuss the red flags that show up after you've hooked. When we start dating someone, we all turn into the spot red flags. In those first 2 or 3 months, trust builds. We feel like we've made a solid choice. But here's the catch. Some of the most damaging red flags in queer relationships don't show up until we're already emotionally invested and probably moved in. Relationship experts have laid out some delayed red flags that often sneak in after the honeymoon phase ends. The red flags include your partners finding excuses not to work, saying vile things, or even isolating you from your chosen family. Many have serious anger issues, lie about their past, or talk badly about you behind your back. One red flag many overlook: when your partner tries to fix, train, or improve you. Such a behavior may signal manipulation and potential abuse. Another is spinelessness. If the partners can't express feelings and resorts to passive-aggressive pouting. Love should feel like home, not a battlefield. Thank you, Pat Benatar. When I read the story, like I said, I felt like Rosanna Dana. When you go to U-Haul, the first thing they should ask you is, not do you have a license, is have you been dating more than a year? Because if you've been dating more than a year, you're not getting a U-Haul. But seriousness, I've faced some of that stuff, and some of the guys I've dated. I have more X's and O's, than whatchamacallit, tic-tac-toe. But it is really important to know that you need to be safe and you need to feel happy. And if someone's not making you feel happy in a loved relationship, then they're not the right person for you.
Yeah.
You need to move on. And it's one of the things that we do in our community is move in too fast, and we ignore the red flags because I'm in love and I found the one. And sometimes you need to wait and find out the real person is coming.
I hate getting old. I hate getting old. But one thing that I do love about being this particular age is that you already know what you don't want anymore. You already know what hasn't worked in the past, Because Faye in her 20s and 30s, I would see those red flags and paint them white. No, they're fine. Yeah. They're fine. They're not red. Yeah. They're not red. Big red flags. I want to, share your location. I want to know where you're at all the time.
Oh.
It's a big red flag, right? You're not going to share your location with me, but you want me to share my location with you. Big red flag, okay? Big red flag if somebody doesn't have friends of their own.
Right.
That's a big red flag. That means that they've probably had to move from friend group to friend group because of something that they've done. Big red flag, like you said, if they're trying to keep you away from your friends and family. That's a big one.
Or change the way you look and you act, and they're embarrassed to be with you.
They want to fix you.
Yeah, they want to fix you.
You're not a project.
Right. And I'm not broke.
Yeah, and I'm not broken. Yeah, but these are, treating servers like shit. There is a big red flag, and that's something that, like, I dated a girl I didn't even know, and like months later we were at a restaurant. She was super rude to the server. I was like, oh no, I could never be with someone who treats hospitality wrong. I used to work in hospitality. I can't. And it's like the person's hot, the person's pretty, sex is good. Let me paint that red flag white.
Yeah.
It's good to move slower, right? Like I've been, with relationships, and like now it's like one of the best things you can do is just move slowly. Just understand, like, you're connecting with this person. It's, it's a connection, you have to take it slow. Like I've been the red flag before, I probably some of my exes out there like would say I'm a red flag, but, learning, you learn and you grow, and, it's good that the community, like, we start having these conversations, the open conversations on what we're looking for in a relationship, what we're looking for in a partner, because these are conversations that need to be had.
And it's okay to make mistakes, because as long as you learn from them, because that's what life's about. Life's about learning.
It's learning from them, and especially down here in South Florida, right? I'm only going to speak about my people, my Latin people. We could be a little jealous.
Very jealous. We could be very jealous.
Okay, I was trying to not let people know that, Angel. Okay, we could be a little jealous, and that's a red flag. Like, if you don't like that kind of stuff, but you're dating a really hot brown Latino, and you're like, I'll deal with the jealousy. Understand that later on, that red flag might be up your butt. Wait, you might like that. Well, it is. That is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and